In FraudCon 2020 War Stories, our fraud storytellers will tell tales of fierce battle of wits and fraudsters, gory real-world financial crime scenarios, and glorious victories over nefarious cyber syndicates. Allow me to welcome Uri Rivner, Chief Cyber Officer at BioCatch. Take it away, Uri.
All right, so Netflix did not buy FraudCon, but this year we decided to take a bit of a different approach for delivering the content. I mean, no one has the attention span for a 1 hour long presentation, right? So instead, we packed everything into 15 to 20-minute episodes that will air right after these opening words, with each episode delivered by one of our fraud-fighting speakers and focused on a unique war story. The result is the first ever fraud binge experience. Episode after episode of suspense, mystery, education, and fun. You can watch the episodes live or watch them later on in your free time. The episodes will start running after these opening words, but if you missed the live broadcast, no worries at all. You know what to do. You can watch it at any time after the event has ended. You're already registered. So all you need to do is just access the event page, get some coffee or a snack, and click on the episode that you'd like to play. As I said, a binge experience for fraud stories. This FraudCon is all about storytellers that will share their personal war stories, tales of fierce battle of wits with fraudsters, gory real-world financial crime scenarios, and glorious victories over nefarious cyber syndicates. War stories that will capture your imagination, teach you some tricks of the trade, and inspire you in the ongoing fight against cybercriminality. The agenda we have is amazing. Let me give you some highlights for each episode. We're honored to have Frank McKenna, author of the incredible fraud-fighting website Frank on Fraud. Frank will share cases of unemployment and stimulus pack fraud. These types of fraud campaigns show how quick to adapt fraudsters are and how they manage to fully leverage the unique landscape of a global virus outbreak. Carice Hendrick, the 2019 recipient of Legend of Fraud Award and e-commerce fraud guru, will tell us about refund fraud, including some hair-raising real incidents. It's totally new and surprising attack on e-commerce websites and online retailers, and it's part of a broader trend in which fraudsters trade blows with the fraud-fighting community by using unconventional attack vectors. Veterans of the industry will have shivers running down their spines when listening to Keith Mularski, who single-handedly led the most audacious operations behind enemy lines during his times in the FBI cyber division. Those of you who have been in the industry 10 to 15 years ago will remember such stories as Dark Market, where Keith, as an undercover FBI agent, infiltrated and then took control over a notorious fraud forum widely used in the dark economy and ran it as a moderator until enough evidence was collected to charge dozens of cyber criminals. I asked Keith to share the behind-the-scenes story of how the infamous Game Over Zeus network was taken down. This episode is really a must-have. Tal Darsan, who heads Counter Cybercrime Lab at IBM Trusteer, has seen many fraud campaigns, but the one the lab has recently exposed targeting North American financial services is different. It's an automated account takeover operation using mobile emulators and particularly suitable to Corona times. In Wolves Guarding the Henhouse episode, Marianne Miller from California-based Varo Bank will share an amazing story on how fraudsters are always ready and sometimes even beyond ready. It's one of those war stories that you remember for years. Seth Rudin, who runs fraud at First Tech Credit Union, will tell us about a Zelle crime ring he managed to virtually wipe out. Zelle is an awesome bank-to-bank real-time money transfer scheme in the US, but also a target of massive fraud campaigns. This specific fraud ring used highly convincing social engineering and access to stolen identity records to take over mobile banking accounts and send out thousands of dollars per account via Zelle. Seth brought a special surprise for you in this session, and it's funny as hell, as well as a real eye-opener. In the Russian laundromat, Yaron Hazan from Tetaray will tell us about one of the biggest money laundering operations the financial crime fighting community has ever seen. With so much fire, you would expect a lot of smoke, but this operation took cover under some unique vulnerabilities in cross-country money transfers. How can you still detect foul play? Join and learn. Sergei Shaykevich from Q6 will tell us about a particularly nasty case of a mule network in the dark underground. Even in Corona times, when everyone is working from home, building a successful long-time mule network is more difficult than it sounds. Sergei has profiled a specific Eastern European cybercrime ring and will show us how they manage to recruit and maintain their money mules. More and more retailers are providing point-of-sale loans to help consumers finance their purchase, but loan fraud doesn't require fraudsters to use your stolen credit cards. They can simply steal your identity. There's a mystery, though. How do they know which consumer identities are creditworthy and worth stealing? Kimberly So and Ryan Bermudez from Signified will solve that mystery for us. Arming the frontline fighting force with a truly predictive model is an art, or should we say science. Spencer McLean will moderate a talk between Elad Cohen from Riskified and Craig Savage from Ikata on new ways to analyze the data set, track false positives, and balance explainability and model performance. This episode is for the data scientists among you, as their story is an integral part of our ecosystem. Well, enough chit-chat. I'm Yuri, and I'd like to welcome all of you to FraudCon 2020 War Stories. Let the binge begin.